Originally, I was a part of the planning stages for this. And on October 15th was the day that we started. There are so many reasons for us to be doing this. Whether you're concerned about the environment, whether you're concerned about wage disparity, whether you're concerned about ending the Fed. There are so many grievances that we all have, and the Occupy movement is the platform for all of those grievances.
I want to take this opportunity to update the American people. Last month, protesters took to the streets across the country to demand their universal rights.
Let's recap the breaking news at this hour. After a march of between 10,000 and 20,000 protesters at Occupy Wall Street in New York.
Began with a small disorganized protest on Wall Street in Lower Manhattan here in New York, has grown today to demonstrations nationwide against corporate greed.
This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
I think the system is fucked up and we need to tear it apart. Excuse my language here.
Yeah.
It's not us that we're fighting, it's them. So that is the most important part of what's happening here today is we're finally getting past the wall that's kept us separate for so very long. See, now there's too many of us and they can't hold us back now. During college, I was involved with a lot of organizations, community activism. Activism is my heart. So to see something of this magnitude, I mean, I was watching the Arab Spring, I was watching the coverage on the Arab Spring, and then I heard about Occupy Wall Street. And for once, there was a platform for your average American to express the concerns that they had or the dissatisfaction that they felt with their government. It's an interesting environment of people who are coming together not only to protest, not only to heal the world, but to heal themselves. And that's what you're seeing a lot of people who, have genuine human problems. A lot of the people out here are homeless. A lot of the people out here don't have a place to go or are transients or don't even feel accepted in the society that they live in. So you have these people who look like misfits, but we are still the average American in every single way. And unfortunately, the average American is suffering.
Came by and I talked to people and I got to listening, and I didn't pitch a tent up right then, and got to listening and had to take a look at things and think. And sometimes you have to shut your mouth and listen, because when you're running your mouth, you can't hear no understanding.
I once saw this sign at Occupy Wall Street that said, "Do not mistake the complexity of this movement for chaos." Sometimes walking by, it looks like chaos, but that's because it is a complex movement. It is a group of passionate people getting together in one small space to voice their opinions. There's going to be arguments. And so you have a lot of people out here who are trying to heal themselves of the suffering that we're going through. The media is going to portray it in any light they want to portray because it's the media. They're being paid to slant it. But what I say to those people who think it's chaotic or dirty or whatever, come out here, get off your couch, stop watching Fox News, and come have a conversation with these people, and you'll see a completely different way. I mean, yes, it gets frustrating out here, but life is frustrating, you know what I mean? But we're going through the motions to try to make ourselves better, and it starts as an inner thing. And so we're having this moments of cleansing ourselves inside and having that spread outside. So on a day-to-day basis here, it's just like any other day in the life of anyone. You see your friends and you hang out, but you're also doing work.
It says, get a job, you worthless HDBs. And for those of you who don't know what HDB is, H is for hipster, B is for bag, and I'll leave the D up to your imagination.
Ms. Kate, is there anything else you say to the Wall Street protesters? Yeah, go home and get a job.
No good for nothing punks. You've been given everything your entire lives from the moment you were born. You've never been cold, you've never been hungry, you've never been without 24-hour access to information, entertainment. You're blogging about the evils of corporations on your iPad in a Starbucks. Get a job, you worthless HDBs.
If you have a college degree in this country, unemployment's 4.5%. So all of these people, all they have to do is take a shower and they can get a job if they went to college. That's all.
I think that's one of the more humorous critiques of the Occupy movement, go get a job, because so many of us have jobs and come after work and come between school to be here. We have middle-class people here that have just your average people. We have a family that comes out here, a mom, dad, 3 kids, and they come out here and occupy. So this perception that the media presents of, oh, it's just these young hippies with no jobs is completely inaccurate. And for so many of us, we want jobs. We desperately want jobs. And, you know, not just your minimum wage job where you're unhappy. I mean, the American dream, is that not about the pursuit of happiness? Why have a job that you hate every day to go to not even be able to afford the bills that are racking up? And I think that we're out here trying to recreate, or at least bring to fruition, that American dream that was promised to ourselves and our ancestors. So for those people, I mean, if those people can't look around and pay attention at what's really going on and don't understand the Occupy movement, it blows my mind. I mean, can you not see the suffering of everyone? Everyone. I mean, people, you know someone who's losing their home, has lost their home, has the threat of losing their home. You know someone whose benefits have been cut. You know someone, or have yourself suffered job loss. I mean, there's so many reasons to be involved in this, and it has nothing to do with just these young kids who need to get a job. That's the most irrelevant critique that I've ever heard. Yeah, there are plenty of critiques of the Occupy movement. In fact, we welcome those critiques because they're there. It's a young movement. But that is the most ridiculous of them all.
Been in the government center. I've walked to the bathroom. I've seen them out there smoking cigarettes. And I've heard that quite a bit. And even when we was protesting about, why don't they go get a job? Why don't they do that? And you know, the funny thing about it is a lot of people here got jobs or income and everything like that. But see, you are complacent. When you say that and you work for a bank or a government, you're complacent with the check you're getting. But see, like I was just saying, when that government quits or you lose that job, then you're done. So as far as go get a job, it doesn't eat me up. It doesn't eat me up at all because I believe in what I'm doing.
I basically set up, clear props and try and correlate the messages that everybody have here in a colorful way so that the press could show up, and the kids themselves, who have a lot of passion, at least have some words in their mouth when someone shows up and asks them what they're doing here. I think it's just, a frustration, and everybody's hoping that something positive will come out of this. Now, they're shutting down these camps all over the country, and I thought, besides getting good press here and basically strengthening these kids, on what the issues are, we're going to paint our whole town like an American flag, and if they're going to come in like totalitarians, they're going to have to tear down the American flag, because we're just standing up for our constitutional rights.
We will, in every regard, in every sense, stand behind our First Amendment rights, our constitutional rights. And that, more than anything, is what we fight for. I mean, they have these areas that they call free speech zones, and I find that hilarious, because where is that in the Constitution that there are free speech zones? I thought America was a free speech zone. So for them to say you need a permit to exercise your rights to free speech, that's insane. Our forefathers will be rolling in their graves. I don't need a permit to practice my free speech. Now, we're going through the motions to try to make sure that we at least cooperate in a way that when looked back upon, they can't say that we tried to do anything outside of the ordinary. We're trying to apply for the proper permits and have the proper paperwork. But at the end of the day, if they tell us to move, we're still going to stand behind our First Amendment rights.
From what I know and from what I see, it's not going to last too much longer. But I do know that there's other resources being popped up where we might go somewhere else, not just get shoved out and then just disappear and then Miami is over. You know, no, we have a plan. I can't really say what, but there's a plan we got going on, and we are going to pop up somewhere else if they just come in and the permit is not renewed in the next 7 days or something like that, and they say you got to go. Now, those who stay, well, we've already told them we don't have a lawyer. We do not have the finances to bail you out of jail. So if you stay, that's on you. But we will pop up again. So we're just not going down without a fight. Now, when I say without a fight, we're not going to try to just tear the police out. We're going to pop back up. I know Miami is. And I believe everybody is, but we have to take a focus on what's going on. And people out there need to look instead of sitting there at home going, you know, it's like, you know, you need to look because you're a paycheck away from being like that too.
I think that people should keep watching, but at the same time get involved. Like I said, I hear so many critiques on the Occupy movement, but they're usually from people who haven't bothered to step outside their front door and find the Occupy near them. But don't just sit back and accept what the media says is facts, because it's not fact. We've known for far too long that there's a media blackout, number one, in our country. And number two, it's just always been swayed, whether to the left or to the right, it's gonna be swayed. Form your own opinion of what the Occupy movement is. But more than that, like I tell people all the time, the Occupy movement has to start within yourself. So occupy your mind, you know what I mean? Like occupy your heart. That's really where the occupation takes place, because you can't expect to affect any type of change if you yourself aren't liberated in a sense. Inform yourself on what's going on in the world, because living ignorantly, living blindly, just buying into the trends, why? Give your life some purpose. If the Occupy movement itself isn't your purpose, find one. Find one. Because I think the best quote I've ever heard is, if you aren't angry, then you aren't paying attention. And that's how I feel about the people who are like, go get a job. You haven't been paying enough attention to what's going on. Pay attention. Wake up.
Equal wages, that's what we are fighting for. What are you fighting for?
People that march for you, this is how you repay the people who stood up for you in those county meetings.
This will not shut down the movement. The movement is an idea that cannot be shut down. This is an idea of the people, and it can never go away. We're going to keep on doing Occupy Miami for as long as it takes. The movement all around the country, all around the world is going to keep on going strong. We're not going to go away. We're not going to stop. We're going to keep on doing this until things change. And if it takes forever, then it takes forever. But I'm not going anywhere. I don't think anybody else is going anywhere either. This is only going to get stronger.